watched it!
ഇതളൂർന്നു വീണ പനിനീർദളങ്ങൾ തിരികെ ചേരും പോലെ ദളമാർമരങ്ങൾ ശ്രുതിയോടു ചേർന്നു മൂളും പോലെ വെൺചന്ദ്രനീ കൈക്കുമ്പിളിൽ
So we finished Thanmathra and
You go first.
I really liked the film. Now,
I loved it. Loved it as in...
he
Don't
got
laugh.
so
Don't.
emotional throughout the whole film. It is a very emotional
It was
film.
an emotional film.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Like, I did cry. There was a lot of scenes, like tears just came out of my eyes.
Right.
And I was just like amazed by the performances, the
Oh,
story, how realistic it was. It just like, it was one of the best movie I've ever seen. We've seen not that many Mohanlal movie. We've seen couple, and for us, Drishyam was our all-time
Yes.
favorite Mohanlal movie. But after watching this one, we were amazed and blown away by
So
his
blown away,
performance.
so blown away.
And I think after Drishyam, we're like, I don't think he can get any better.
Any
I think
better, but
after watching this, which came out like years ago, before Drishyam,
I know.
and my God.
And I feel like not every actor has that ability to act the way Mohanlal acted in this film. Like, this really showed that everything comes to him just so naturally,
So
you know?
natural.
Like, you don't think you're watching an actor. You're watching, like someone who's just doing everything on a normal basis. Like, even there was one scene in the film when he was in the school and giving that speech. I really felt
Such a good scene.
I really felt like I was listening to someone who was like instructing me or teaching me, and I was like so zoned into it. Then I
Right.
like took myself back, and I'm like, wait a minute, like he's an
Exactly.
actor, like he's not someone who is like a speaker. So overall, I really loved the film.
I have no words explaining this movie because you guys told us watch this movie. If you want to see Mohanlal acted to his like best, watch Thanmathra.
Right.
And we loved it.
Quickly going over the story, like in the first part of the film, you're kind of just getting introduced to everything. I feel like in the first half of the film,
Yeah.
you're getting introduced to the characters, you're getting introduced to his like past life, people that he's interacted with in the film. Obviously it's his wife, he has a daughter, and he has a son. In the beginning they show little parts of them, but later on in the film they play a huge
Very
part,
important, yeah.
a huge part in the film.
I think
you-
that's why they had to show more of them.
Exactly.
First, we were thinking, okay, is all the scenes kind of drag?
Right.
Like, what's this movie going to? And you just have to be patient. Like, you know, it started opening up after like 40 to 45 minutes later. You realize what this movie is gonna be about.
Because in the beginning, the father is interacting with his son so much, telling his son so many things. And at that time, that son's really not paying attention. Oh, okay, you know, it's kind of like he's listening. And at times, he was listening to his father. Later on, how his teachings, like, developed his son.
Oh, yeah.
Like, then after that, the second part of the film is, like, around his son. Mohanlal in the film eventually develops dementia, Alzheimer's, which is a disease in which you start losing your memory. In long term, a parts of your brain starts like diminishing, and eventually that leads to death. Now, there were early signs of his dad forgetting like his way to go home, and just forgetting little things here and there.
I think that he was getting irritated too.
Yeah.
Like, why is happening with
Why
me?
is this happening to me? Why am I acting weird? Why am I?
And he was trying to ignore it too. Like,
Right.
oh, maybe it's something else,
Yeah.
but that was one of his
Yeah,
signs.
like he would put his file in the freezer. He was taking his shirt off in the office. Like,
What about that scene with the lizard
oh
during the
my
intermission?
god, that scene creeped me out. Like, I had a feeling that this film was gonna lean towards that like dementia and like Alzheimer's, and I kind of told him that because I saw the signs and symptoms. But I was just like, wow, I just couldn't believe it. That scene, the interval scene with the lizard on the wall when he goes to get up and he tries to hit it, it kind of gave me the chills because I felt like he acted so well.
Acted so good, and also the expression his
Oh.
wife gave him, like, I think that point of time,
She knew something was wrong.
knows something seriously is wrong.
In the second half of the film, his like symptoms start getting worse and worse. He starts forgetting his family. He starts forgetting a lot of things. He really has the support of his family. They go back home to his father. His father takes care of him. It's just, it's really realistic things that you feel like you would encounter with someone who has a disease like that. Like, you're trying like your hardest to like accommodate with this person. Like, his wife was in tears majority of the
Every
time.
time,
Like, she
yeah.
was in so much pain, but
And
yeah.
you relate to, like, you can like be like you can almost feel their pain.
Right.
The way they were acting, you feel like you as if like you were part of the family too. I want to mention like two scenes which like got me like really like started like feeling like very emotional. One of the scene was when Mohanlal in second half of the movie goes to the other lady, and they were talking to each other, and she was like, "Oh, I'll make you that food. I'll make you that food."
What he used to eat when he was younger.
Right, they got
that.
really close. I think her father
Yep.
came in, started beating Mohanlal, and that part I was like, no, like
He was literally like, "Oh my god, oh my
Like-
god, oh my god," because
it's Mohanlal, because like, you know, you see him, when I see him, I see like a father, I see
Father
someone
figure.
like, you know, I respect. And when he was getting beat up, and I know it's the acting and everything, and it felt so real, the way he was crying, the way he was trying to like, you know, like dodging, like trying to save himself, that felt so real, and as if like someone's hitting someone I really care for.
like even like the way he was trying to talk, like the way he had his tongue in between like his mouth, the way he was talking, like how hard is that to keep that same position throughout the whole like half of the film? Like seriously. His son then plays a huge role by supporting his dad's dream, trying to like, you know, find a way to like fulfill his dream of him being something. I believe it was in a science related field.
It was IAS officer.
An ISF officer. Another scene, which was like I don't even know what to say, was when Mohanlal passed away and the son was calling,
God.
and the mom goes to answer the phone and she couldn't even tell him. She said, "Just remember your
Like
dad
what?
is always
Like
with
just
you."
imagine a mother. Like, you know, what did she say to her son? Like, you know, your father just passed away.
Like she was torn between like two. Like she was torn between two. She did not know like what exactly
But
to say
she
'cause
did the
wanted
right
him.
thing though, because he was going for the interview, and she said, "Your dad's blessing is with you. Just call me after interview." And she hangs up,
Yeah.
and she just breaks down, and
He passes away and then the movie ends. One thing I really do appreciate about the film, how realistic it was, and there wasn't really like a unrealistic ending to it that, oh my gosh, he all of a sudden gotten
Yeah,
better.
I
You know,
know.
something like that. So that was really appreciated from my perspective about
Yes.
the film, how realistic it was throughout. Because you know, when you're around people like that, like I've actually worked with people who had like dementia and Alzheimer's, and you see the love there, you see the connection there. You know, even though they do forget things, like it's not that they're not human. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, like people think of them as childish or that they're not human. And even in the film, they thought Mohanlal was like acting like a butcha. They even said it in there. In like some part of the film, they even said
Yeah.
that. So I could just really relate to it, and I felt like it's a good film for like people to watch just because they can like understand what this disease is in a much better way, and so they know how to cope with someone who has it, because it's not just something that you can just hide or just put this person like you know, like in a retirement home or something like that. It's the care and the
his
love that they
family
need.
was with him through thick and thin.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the one I want to mention, the friend who was with him throughout the whole time, and like who helped him with his retirement pension and everything, and eventually like he passes away. When the family goes to see him, Mohanlal doesn't remember him. He doesn't remember his
But
own
that's true.
best friend, and like he's saying, oh, he's smiling.
I know.
He's sleeping, but he's smiling, and he doesn't know like that's his best friend who just passed away. So he like, as a person, missed out on so many things because of the disease.
Another scene that I really liked was that 1 second when Mohanlal remembered his wife.
Oh my god! Oh yeah.
That was so
I just thought
beautiful.
about that scene because remember, the father kept praying just for like 1 minute, to let his memory come back to him so he can know
Yep.
what's going on. And he did remember
Yep.
his wife and even his son.
Yep.
He remembered everything, and I think maybe God or whatnot, you know, if this was like a real thing, gave him that like a couple of seconds before he was.
But
gonna, like,
believe it
pass.
or not, people with dementia or Alzheimer's, they do remember people. Like they do remember faces, they do remember relationships, and he would have remembered his wife. It is a true thing. But you would remember the wife for like a day or like an hour, but then you would forget them the next day. But it's just it's something in your
Kinda
memory
scary, dude.
that that comes and then kind of just goes. And you know, like I said, when I used to work, I used to see
Yeah.
this, and there was one wife that always used to like, you know, she forgot everybody else in the world, but she never forgot her kids. And every day her husband would come and bring her a flower, and he would just hold her hand, and at that moment she would just recognize like, that's my husband. Like, so seeing stuff like that,
Yeah.
it's just so realistic. You're getting so
No, I was just thinking about
Okay.
something too, because my grandmother had the same problem. Even she wasn't like 40 or 50. She was like 90 years old when she had this problem. She lived in Jalandhar in Punjab, and when we went there to see her, I remember her just kind of like peeking out to see us, and she had no idea what was going on. Like a kid who was curious, like she was looking outside and then going back to her room. She was looking outside, going back to her room. And then when my dad's brother was like, "Mom, do you remember who's this?" And she just goes like, "No." And my Tauji goes like, "That's Upinder, that's your son." And she just, "I don't remember." And my dad just broke down, like my own mother doesn't remember me.
Yeah, so these stories can be really like touching. They can also give out a message, and you know, I really like films like this that kind of have a moral to it, and a lot of his films have a moral to a story.
The wife acted.
She acted so well. Like I felt bad because every scene she had to cry. So I could just imagine how much she had to cry.
I also want to mention the father. The father acted so good. He must have gone through like, okay, this is my age to relax and my son to take care of me, and this is like other way around. His father was helping him with everything. So overall, it was such a beautiful movie. Thank you to you guys for recommending this great gem to us. We can't wait to watch more Mohanlal
Yes,
movies.
definitely.
Do let us know which one to watch. We do have a long list of Mohanlal movies that we'll be getting. So we're gonna watch all of it, so do stay tuned. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, follow social media.
And keep sending your requests, guys.
Kill the like button, guys. Kill the like button. Bye.
You okay?